Slick here. I've got another question from a member here at the Y. This one's a little tough to tackle, but I'll do my best with it. It's the inevitable question that every mother would like to know: how do you lose the pooch? We're talking about the pooch, we're talking about the excess belly fat. Sometimes it's excess belly fat, sometimes it's overstretched muscles. We'll get to that in a second. But it's that appearance of a pouch at the bottom of your stomach that a lot of women get after pregnancy. So people are always wanting to know how to lose this. I wish I could tell you that it's possible to lose body fat off of one spot of your body, but it really isn't. Anytime you're exercising, you're eating correctly, you're sleeping correctly, and you start losing body fat, you lose it from all parts of your body. You don't just take it from one spot. You take it from the spots that have the most of it first, and that normally means that they're the last ones to go. So if that makes sense, that if you have more fat in your stomach, then it's going to take you longer to get rid of all of that, because your body will be pulling from that, but it's also going to be pulling fat from your arms, fat from your legs, and if your body fat is mainly stored in your stomach, it's going to be the last thing to go. So a lot of women after pregnancy still store body fat in their stomach. A lot of that's going to be excess skin from just being overstretched, and it's also excess body fat that accumulates as a result of the hormonal changes that women have as a part of pregnancy. So to address the loose skin portion of it, loose skin still has body fat in it, so as you lose weight, that skin will kind of tighten up a little bit. The other thing that will help is if you build up the muscles underneath the skin, that can kind of pull everything in a little tighter and tone up the area, to use a general term. But it kind of tightening up your abdominal muscles will definitely help tighten up the skin, as well as building up some of the external oblique muscles and all the other muscles that make up your core. If you do all of that in a solid strength training program, then you're going to have less of that appearance of loose skin around your stomach. As for losing the body fat through dieting and exercise, that will help pull the skin in as well, and that will also get rid of the fat that's underneath the skin that's pushing that skin out and making it look have that pouch appearance in the front. So in order to lose the body fat through exercise, you also need to make sure that you're doing something to address the hormonal changes, and strength training really helps with that. So after pregnancy, the hormones are still taking a while to get back to normal. Sometimes they're always out of whack afterwards. So if you get back into strength training, or if you get into strength training for the first time, that can make a big impact on your ability to lose that pooch. Sadly, a lot of women, when they're trying to lose weight post-pregnancy, focus too much on just the cardio portion. And cardio is great in moderation. It works really well for some people, but for a lot of people, you still need to be doing that strength training, because it is very beneficial hormonally to get you back to where your body used to be when it comes to burning calories at a higher rate, depositing fat in different places where it's supposed to be deposited rather than all in the stomach, as well as not depositing fat so much and using it for fuel. So strength training helps with all of those things. So definitely make sure the strength training is part of your routine. And then finally, another reason to strength train is a lot of the pooch's appearance comes from overstretched abdominal muscles. So since you're carrying a lot of weight, everything's being stretched out in the front of your body. As soon as you have the baby, those muscles are still stretched out. So that core training routine, strength training routine, big movements like squats, deadlifts, body weight movements that challenge your abdominals to work overtime to support your body in good positions, all of those will help pull those abdominal muscles back to where they're supposed to be after they've been stretched out. So hopefully those help with your journey on losing the pooch. But the last thing I have, last little tip for you for lessening the appearance of the pooch, actually only takes 3 seconds. And this is just about your posture. Almost all women, when they even post-pregnancy, will have an anterior pelvic tilt because of carrying weight in the front of their body. So this is when their pelvis is tilted forward this way. So my pelvis tilts this way, it's going to push my stomach out. Well, naturally, when you're carrying a baby, you have to support that with the weight that way. You can try your best to try to keep it all in, but it's just a structural change in your body. So if I'm standing overextended, that means overextension of my lumbar spine, because my pelvis is tilted down this way. it's going to make my pooch look a lot bigger than it maybe actually is. So, first step, squeeze your butt tight. All I did was take my pelvis from an anterior tilt to a neutral, almost like I'm trying to get a posterior tilt. So I'm really squeezing my butt tight. That pulls my pelvis in. So you see now my back is nice and straight. Now I'm going to pull my ribs down, like I'm pulling my ribs into my waistband. As I do that, the third step is pulling my shoulders back and lifting my chest. So now, flat stomach, flat back, neutral pelvis, neutral spine, and that's going to really lessen the appearance of that pooch just because everything is where it's supposed to be. Also, that engages all those abdominal muscles that get overstretched with pregnancy. So, hopefully this helps. If you guys have any more questions about this particular subject or just any questions in general, you can always comment below here on the YouTube video. You can find me on Facebook at Johnny Slick. It's Johnny without an H. Or you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Johnny Slick